Howdy friends, welcome back to the Outpost. It's a beautiful day here in western Kentucky, but it is blustery. The wind is whipping through here. We're in the 30s and stuff. So I decided to grab an old backpack and we're going to take a hike and go see what kind of random things we can find out in the middle of the woods. Let's go. Now mind you, I live in a very rural area out here in western Kentucky, and there aren't very many large highways at all. There's a few little roads here and there and stuff like that. But the purpose today isn't just to walk alongside these little roads and see whatever people chucked out the window. No, we're going deep into the forest and see if we can find random things where people really shouldn't be. Let's see what we can find. Alright, these woods get pretty deep back in this area. Wait a minute, I'm already coming across something. Hold on, let me get adjusted so we can see what the heck it is. Hold on. What the heck is this? It's a large chunk of concrete with a pipe coming up out of it. Just hanging out here in the woods. Yeah. It's got some weight to it too. Not really sure. It's way too big and heavy for me to put in the backpack. Let's move on. And it's chilly. One good thing about hiking these woods this time of year is there's no ticks, and there's probably not have to worry about any kind of snakes. Now I see something else I'm coming up on. Let's check this out. Wow. This is a giant glass jar. Let's see what that says on there. See, this is a very big glass jar, like an old mason jar or something like that. And it's got some words on it. I can't really read it. Vlasic Farms. This is an old pickle jar. A very, very large pickle jar. A random pop can. It's an old sun drop. I actually drink these. It looks like it's got a lot of holes in it, like somebody shot it up. Huh. Alright, I'm seeing something else down here. I don't know what this is. Looks like a piece of plastic. What is that? It's an old bag of chips. Classic Lay's cheddar and sour cream. There's something else that's right over here beside it. What is this? It's more plastic. Piece of plastic that says salt on it. Almost like it's de-icing salt. I don't know how that got down in here. The wind could have blown it through here or whatever. So on to the next. Ooh, it's chilly out here. Okay, we're coming back up on something else here. I don't know what this is. It's like some more, maybe a piece of metal or something. I don't know. Wow. It's a piece of metal. Looks like a piece of siding or something like that. I don't know what. Maybe it got blown in here by a storm or something. Now remember, we're in the middle of the woods. Technically speaking, there shouldn't be anything really out here, but as you can see, there ain't nothing but forest. There ain't nothing fancy around here. There are some people that randomly live here and there, but there's no community really. I'm in the woods. Too big to put in the backpack. Moving on. All right, coming up on something else here. Kind of looks like an old coffee can. Nothing exciting. Let's see what we got here. It's like an old coffee creamer can. It says Nestle on it and stuff. Another big piece of plastic. I wish I had enough time and the ability to just clean all this stuff up, but we don't. So let's move on. Now, even though I live out in this area, you gotta be careful because you can get lost real quick or get turned around. I'm looking. Ooh, it's chilly. My hands are cold. Hold on a second. Looks like we're coming up on something else here. What the heck? Oh, it's a beautiful day. Just cold. Oh my goodness. A random chair. Look, there's nothing anywhere around here. Nothing. Not anything else in this area. And a random chair. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna have a seat right here then. I'm telling you, dude, none of this is structured. We're in the middle of nowhere. So obviously, and I told you about this in other videos, that there used to be people that tried starting little homesteads along the way, in and out random places in these woods and everything, but there ain't nothing else around here. It's just a chair sitting here. No way. How in the heck does something like this get out here in the woods? It's a stuffed animal. Look, his eyeball's been chewed out. Something's been gnawing on him. How did you get, he's got an arm missing. Look, right here. How in the heck did this thing get out here? Oh my goodness. Look, nothing's around. Look, there's no road back in here, nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, I'm seeing something up here. Okay, let's take a look. All right, give me a minute until I can get down here. It's a deer blind. Somebody has put this up. It looks like it's pretty good shape. And of course, we're in the middle of the forest and there's nothing but animals out here. Pretty cool find. All right, we're gonna head on back out of these woods, get back up to the outpost and get our hands warm for a minute. I think I'm gonna get the four-wheeler out, the side-by-side, and we're gonna take a ride out into some other woods that I know about. Take a look there. I'll catch you up to the end. All right, so we've arrived at another location. We brought the side-by-side up here. It's a couple miles down the road from the outpost, and you can see behind me nothing but huge woods back in there and stuff. We're gonna take a walk back there and see what kind of random stuff we can find. All right, we're already coming up on some stuff here. That looks like another piece of metal or something. Some siding is kind of covered up with leaves. I'm looking at this though. Look, this is like chicken wire and stuff. This looks like a couple old traps that somebody left out here. Game traps, like live traps that you've seen me use in the past. Wow. And we're in the woods. See? Woods everywhere. Wow, these are some thick woods through here. I gotta pay attention where I'm at so I don't get lost. Okay, we're coming up on something. I don't know if you can see this or not. It's kind of like an opening. It almost looks like an old road. And look, there's full-grown trees and stuff that are growing up through there. It's an old road of some sort. I don't know where it goes. And we're in the middle of the woods, remember? It's like an old road. Wow. All right, I'm coming up on an area that goes way downhill. And so I don't want to walk all the way down there. We're just gonna walk around this ridge line, see if anything pops up out of the ordinary. Boy, it is super quiet out here. I've only got about another hour before that sun's gonna tuck back behind the trees. So I don't have a lot of time. Kind of walking down through a little gully right now. Thought I saw something up in here. Let's go check it out. Wow, look at all this crap. Look at this. Water bottles. Looks like some old thing of antifreeze sitting down in there. Trash. Huh. A single boot. Look at that. Mind you, like I keep reminding you, there's nothing else around me. These are just random woods. Okay, I see something else. I'm not sure what it is, but if it's what I think it is, I don't know how the heck it got here. Holy cow. I'm gonna have to find a way to get over to that. Look, it's an old Volkswagen bus. Remember, woods. Nothing but wood. Holy crap. Looks like an old ski back in there. Just a bunch of crap. Somebody just left this whole mess out here. It's an old Volkswagen. Looks like it. Wow, I have no idea how in the heck this thing got way back up here in the woods. God, I'm stuck up in here. All right, well, we made it back up here to the side-by-side. My hands are freezing cold, and I still got about a 2-mile ride to make it back up to the outpost. The sun is starting to make that turn back behind the trees. I'll catch up to it once we get there. All right, well, we've made it back home to the outpost, and it's time to review what we found. All right, first thing I want to cover on our little adventure we just went on is the fact of finding just random things such as we did out those in the woods and stuff like that. I don't think there's anywhere that you're going to go, as remote as it might be, without running into something from yesteryears and stuff. Now, mind you, I understand the fact that trash and all that other stuff get blown into the woods due to storms and all that other stuff, but there's obvious things where you can see that I ran across had nothing to do with storms, such as piles of trash. A single boot. How about that chair that was just randomly sitting in the middle of the woods with nothing else around it? Not to mention the tree stand. Hey, that's viable, I understand, because hunting is a big way of life around here and stuff like that. Not to mention, how about that old bus, the old Volkswagen bus? Where in the heck did that come from? How did it get there? Why is it still there? I don't have an answer for it. I guess the point of action and what I'm trying to get as is, being out in the middle of the woods, this is a decision you have to make. It's fun, treasure hunting and all that other good stuff. And I'm not really worried about animals for the most part because most of them will run away. It's more like the two-legged creatures, okay? Live in a remote area, and what does that attract? Fugitives. We've already had fugitives that are on the run that have been hunted down in these woods that I'm talking about and everything like that. But there is no explanation. It's fun to go see those kind of things and stuff. That's why I always suggest, if you're going to go out and do these things, remember, there's people that have been out there well before you have been, and there may be other folks, like two-legged creatures. Always make sure to have something to protect yourself at any cost whatsoever. Well, that's going to do for this one. Thanks so much for hanging out and watching me finding random stuff in the middle of the woods and stuff. Anywhere you go, you're going to end up finding these kind of things. And you know what? You got to realize that people have been there before you, or there still might be active people that are walking around in the woods that you don't know. That's why it's always important to make sure that you're always protected with something in case something like that happens. And the sheer fact of finding a child's toy, and it's all tore up, it didn't just get there, that's like this, in the middle of the woods. There's no explanation. Got any comments, questions, leave them down below. Until next time, I'll see you in the outpost.